And we are live. My name is Russian Outlaw. You are watching RNN live. Now, let's have our guests introduce themselves, starting from the bottom. What's up?
Sorry about that.
That
Can
would
you
be
hear
you,
me?
but
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear.
we can hear you.
Hi, I'm 18 Putza, founder of the all-purpose group on Minds, and I currently have a channel called Man of Dreams. We appreciate if you check it out.
And he's the bottom of this week.
Oh, shut up. I won't be next week.
Anyways, hello, my name is Neko Boy, and I'm a music producer and content creator on YouTube.
all right. Well, in that case, I am Demon. You all know who I am. And I am here today to talk to you about a very important situation that I would like any of you that can help to help with.
Okay, then there's me, the usual regular, who has an obligation to be here.
Alright, and now, does anyone have any particular kind of topics that we should first go over before we go into the video? News topics, whatever it be, within last week or the last couple days.
Well, we can go to the video and then I will talk about my thing.
And Putza has, for whatever reason, suddenly left. Probably having phone problems. Alright, let's see, what do we have
Name
here?
one time that we do this stream where one of us just doesn't miraculously disappear because we have a problem.
Let's see.
Because YouTube hates us.
In RNN show, we focus on the important things in life. No, we don't. We focus on the petty and the real horrors we just avoided.
Alright, so the first video we have for today is by Al Jazeera, or AJ Plus. Now, it's entitled, Should the U.S. Invade Itself?
Yes.
Let's get started.
Well, considering who it comes from, they're very familiar with that.
Yes, but I'm also saying, yes, the US should invade itself, but I don't think Al Jazeera will like the results, because I'm thinking more like crazy country people with guns versus the government.
Or the specific reasons as to why it should be invading itself, which I'm sure Al Jazeera will say completely different reasons.
Oh, you mean a Middle Eastern run thing will lie? Who could have told you that? I don't know what... I have no idea what kind of fucking accent I was just doing. Anyways, let's do it.
Yeah, you suck
How
at
would we
accents.
think about the United States today
Shut
if
up.
it weren't in North America, but South America, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, or another place Trump may deliriously blame for giving him COVID? The US is claimed to be the world's arbiter of democracy, deciding which countries are living up to democratic standards, which are run by dictators, which are failed states, and even which ones need humanitarian intervention, oftentimes with little regard to humanity. But what happens when the US starts to act more and more like the very countries it's called failing? I'm Francesca Fiorentini, and there's an undemocratic dictatorship in the Americas. Only this time, the call is coming from inside the house.
Ah, yes. Oh, wait.
I was going to say, ironically, we're actually having probably more like of that with under, well, Biden.
Yeah, I just
I'm
realized
back.
this is from October, so this doesn't look good.
Yeah,
If this was more of a hypothetical, I would be more interested, but eek.
did anyone else hear about the Times article?
I think we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have.
Not in
What's
great
that?
context, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think the worst of it, wasn't it something about that the Biden administration is trying to implement, you talked about a secret police?
I know they've already implemented that in certain
Okay.
places that were willing to work. Yes, your country has a secret police now to enforce mask rules.
Well,
Okay, can I go ahead and just chill right now, real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, my girlfriend tooth that's infected, and I don't want it to get into her throat, that her chest, that her stomach. She needs it removed. I mean, I'm asking to maybe get to 1,000, but I mean, if we just get to 500, like, it's for a good cause. Everything goes to her. all for medical care. So please, like, if you have the means, I know a lot of you are struggling. Like, can you please help out? Okay, that's all.
And
Yeah, at
if
least
you,
it's for a good cause.
and of course, the links are in the description. In which, if you decide if you would like to help Demon's girlfriend with the tooth removal.
However, he will not be accepting Chinese yuan.
Hey.
You mean yuan?
I'm
Yeah,
part Chinese, asshole. You
Yes,
German
but the
racist.
Chinese yuan is literally valueless outside of China. That's what you get for a closed economy.
Well, anyways, back
All
to the whole
go back to the
Biden
video.
thing with the secret police, and then there was also the trying to right now purge the military of people with certain views they do not like because they.
In building camps. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh wait, what's this?
You know
about
they're building
camps?
camps on the border to put kids in cages.
That's in overflowing facilities. What do you mean children in cages? All I see are undocumented migrants in overflowing facilities.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that's what they said. They're like undocumented children. It's like,
No. Undocumented migrants.
Oh, is that what we have to say now?
Fuck.
Yes. But of course,
But,
the
hey,
most concerning thing was Times article, "The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election."
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, if any of y'all can help out, like, I'd really appreciate it. It would be awesome. I mean, even if you only got like $2, like anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it an at or a dollar? Which one is the correct one?
Sorry?
Well, the
I'm asking
at
Demon.
one is my PayPal. The $ one is Cash App. And everything will go to her. Like every single dollar. I'm not taking a penny. Like none of it goes to me. And I'll provide the receipts if anybody wants. I'll be like, okay, you want to see that I transferred the money? Okay. I ain't taking crap.
You know, I've been clipping these streams. I'll probably just clip this and then put it in my channel, and then it says Florida man needs help. So
Of course.
It's not
Hey.
me that needs help, Neko.
well, we need
Well,
a clickbaity
that's what
title.
you legally have to say.
Also,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
Kutza
that's
who
gonna
said
be-
that, not Neko.
True. By the way, I'll be clipping the live stream. I'll make sure I'll clip it this and put it to my channel.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Anyways, yeah, like it's, if anything, we're actually more having it under Biden than we ever had anything under Trump, because Trump didn't even come close.
Are we talking about the police state?
Yeah, like they're saying that the U.S. is a dictatorship, yada yada.
Well, he literally put 5,000 troopers permanently in D.C. and then is purging
And built
members
walls that they said don't work.
Yeah. Not only that, but he's politically purging members so they can have a permanently left-leaning established soldiers just armed at D.C. at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And they're staying till April.
Mm-hmm.
As
Problem
if
was that if they start justifying, like the thing is with the Capitol, it was always transparent. It was always a symbol of the nation itself. They start doing it there, they're going to start doing it everywhere.
it's kind of like using 9/11 as an excuse, but even more petty.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
way more petty.
I mean, I wish
That's
they
a
acted
weird
like
way
this
of
during the
describing it.
riot. I mean, I wish they acted like this during Antifa and the BLM riots, but no, the people of the right political persuasion than this.
Well, actually,
Just
like
a
the
moment.
Capitol. I was gonna say the Capitol and stuff was pretty well guarded, but Everyone else was on their own, so yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Demon, is that info correct in the description
Which info?
for your PayPal?
Yeah, it should be at Demon Hobbit.
Okay, because I'm getting nothing.
Is it only one B?
Hold on. I'm looking.
Nope. 1B, I still get nothing. I know what happens if I put that was nope.
Well, okay. I'm going to dox myself, which is fine because I don't care. Everybody already knows my name. So it's my PayPal is Brian Lovell, Lovall at Demon
Okay,
Hobbit.
okay. This would be better to just have it typed out rather than.
Oh, I don't care. People already know my name. I don't give a damn.
Okay, could you just type it out so I could just send it that way?
What?
I'm trying to send you some cash. I'm trying to do a good thing, for God's sakes. Try to do it secretly, but somehow PayPal seems to think that you don't exist.
No, I exist. That's my PayPal.
Hey, you gotta remember, you're a Florida man. As far as we understand, you are some crazy person's Coke fantasy just poofed into existence.
Hey, can someone send a link to Jack T. Ripper? He wants to join.
The stream?
Who is Jack T. Ripper?
He's a Gulf City, bro.
Ah,
Well, I can give you the link so you can send it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the YouTube link.
You mean the invite? Think he wants to join the stream, or does he want to just watch the stream?
He just wants to watch.
Okay. Oh well. Okay. Well, then I can do that. Let me just get it. All right. But anyways, can you type it out? Your thing. Maybe it's not working. I can put it in the description again. Anyways, let me send you in the private chat the link to the YouTube, so you can send it to your friend. There you go, Demon. It's in the private chat. But any other like discussions? Because I don't. As far as like I think as the whole Biden situation is going, it is closer to what an actual dictatorship would be like, in the sense of policy and everything.
Yeah, meanwhile,
Yeah,
they
I mean-
complained when Trump just had a military parade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a few fucking tanks was. Tim Pool was bitching out the ass about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Whittle Timmy Pool bitches about everything.
Yeah, that he's kind of a weird one.
Anyways, let's.
I mean, I still watch him. It's not that
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Okay, Koala-chan asks, Demon, could you post the link here or somewhere else? I think they're wanting it posted on the Discord, the link to your PayPal.
Yeah, I mean, I could post it on Discord.
On my Discord, I think he's saying.
Oh,
Discord.
yours, not mine.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can do that. I mean, it doesn't have to happen right now. It just, next
Okay.
couple days.
Do I know someone?
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll put it in your Discord, Outlaw, and I'll put it in yours, Z.
All right, whoever is named Jen, you are in here now.
Hey, I'm not the bottom.
But you've moved up a step. Congratulations.
Anyways, we have some comments here while we're getting everything.
Hello, Jack
here.
T. Ripper. Are you also Jack T. Rapper? Coming at us from the dawn of Twitter?
I get that reference.
I'm not too sure.
I think it's the epic rap battle of history.
And hi, Jen. You can unmute yourself if you'd like. Or I'll unmute you. Let's see. You can't unmute you guys. You can see. Okay, so I guess I can't unmute you. You're going to have to unmute yourself if you want to be able to speak.
You're not secretly an FBI agent, are you?
that would be kind of awful.
It's okay. I know who Jen and Jack are, and they're good people. So let's give them some entertainment, and hopefully they will.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Hopefully they will donate to, the cause that is helping a girl who is in need.
Unfortunately, the easiest way for PayPal would be an email. Because that's how I've done it all.
Did I email it to you?
No.
No, you post your email.
When you sent, you got 4 ways: email, username, name, or mobile. The username refuses to work. The name, I couldn't catch it, what you said. But all of the ways that I've used, oh, they're gone now, was through email.
All right, Jack's saying the link doesn't work. Oh, crap. All right, let me... Oh, shut up, Roy.
Okay, where do we have you?
I love how many boomer moments we're having in this stream. Remember, we still got video of you being evicted out of your tree.
Oh, jeez, Val.
Yeah, I've clipped that.
Anyways, I just post your email. I think that will just be easier to find for people.
What, mine?
Yes, your email.
Yes. The one that is connected to your PayPal.
No, just type it in the private chat and I'll post a link to it and everyone can find it.
Okay.
Anyways, before we get started,
We've already started.
Okay, and then, people can contact me and I will give them the PayPal link. I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Anyways, let's get on.
Okay, got your email. So the email is working.
Okay, the email works.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, let's watch this.
So Trump has the coronavirus, as do multiple administration officials in what the internet is calling the Republican Red Wedding. Only if the Red Wedding weren't at all surprising, because Lord Walter Frey just kept saying, "Can't wait to murder your entire family, Robb Stark." Let's say around season 3, episode 9, while Robb Stark keeps pushing hydroxychloroquine as a cure for stab wounds. And when it comes to America's commander-in-chief, who knows how Trump is actually doing versus how he wants you to think he thinks you think he's doing? What? In the past, other American presidents have hid their illness.
Does this bitch have a brain?
The bizarrely rosy assessment.
No,
well, she is working for. Well, she is working for Al Jazeera, so.
Yeah, well, hey, someone tell Jack. All right, I'll just DM him the Discord info.
Or I'll just the description of the YouTube video.
I'll just message it to him. I'll do it right now.
Anyways, let's continue.
All right, so continue with this arrogant, probably racist, dumb
of our dear leader's health fits
woman
perfectly into this episode, which is about how the U.S. is behaving exactly how it's always accused strongmen abroad of behaving.
It's like something out of North Korea. The dear leader comes out, right, with the magnificent helicopter entrance and up the stairs.
Who wants to
and
put
off
money
goes
that
the
she's not
mask.
going to mention anything about Obama?
Everything's fine. Everything's normal. But that's not the only way America looks more and more like the countries we love to scold. Let's get into it. The Trump regime has appointed the leader's
Because this would
daughter
prove
and
one thing,
son-in-law to a
that if
real
you're
estate
handsome, black, and Democrat, they won't touch you. Murder all the children you want to.
Hey. 8 facts. Okay, continue.
empire and newspapermen as top advisors. The United States has often pointed to family members being part of a government as a sign of a country's lack of democracy. Like in Iraq. Remember how once the US stopped supporting Saddam Hussein, it zeroed in not just on him, but his sons, Uday and Qusay?
Saddam Hussein and his sons must leave Iraq.
Does anyone know the listing of what fucking Uday did?
Oh, yeah.
The first son of Saddam Hussein. The man who was more hated than Saddam Hussein. The son who would be the rightful heir to Saddam's dictatorship, except Saddam turned it down because, in his own words, Uday was too fucking evil to be a dictator.
Well, yeah, he would find newlywed couples and then try to rape the bride.
Yeah, and also the disturbing fact
Trillion
that...
other things.
Yeah, with the more disturbing fact being that he required blood to get off.
Ew.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he
That's
frequently
disgusting.
beat the women that he, I'm just going to say, had in his bedroom because it was a requirement to get off.
Okay,
Yep.
that's disgusting.
Roy said it. I watched Count Dankula's video on Uday. What a guy. Yeah. Uday is the worst guy that Count Dankula has done a Mad Lads video on, and even then, you get the point. This is not a comparison.
I don't know. Iraq had vampires.
Oh, yeah.
Not to drink, to see.
Well, there's one thing I don't understand. Regardless of what you feel about Iran or the country that they're mentioning, the guy was a terrible fucking dictator that deserved to be taken down. Rather, if we went about doing it the right way, that's to be debated. But I don't know. But I always feel like there's like this weird defense about this very terrible person. Like I understand the consequences are regrettable, but I don't see leaving him in power to be much better either.
Yeah, Trump hasn't used mustard gas against anyone, so not really comparable.
Well, if anything, he bombed mustard gas or like places allegedly where gas was back when he was dicking around in Syria. Yeah,
All right,
it's just a weird thing.
8 hours.
The last
It's
thing we
gonna
need
take
is
us an
some
hour to get
idiot
through this,
fail
if
son
not.
to take control of a country. Trust me, it will not end well. When the U.S. toppled the Iraqi government, it raided the Sun's palaces, and troops found, among other things, live leopards, a passion they clearly shared with their American counterparts, Uday and Qusay Trump. Of course, from the look of things, the Trumps are much more Joe Exotic, while Uday and Qusay are clearly the Carol Baskin of Big Cat Pedigree.
What the fuck?
What?
Fuck?
That is a blatant lie.
They are comparing trophy hunting to having them as pets.
No, just no.
Okay, any legitimacy?
What torture did you select for us, Outlaw?
As Daddy Vladimir's representative,
Shut up
I am
about Daddy
opposed to
Vladimir.
What?
Vladimir Putin is more democratic than most Democrats out there.
Well, allegedly.
No, comrade. Oh, you want to go against CCP? I ban you. You go home now. No, sorry.
The real heir, of course, is Ivanka, and Trump appointing her as senior advisor and Jared as Middle East peace broker reeks of the very anti-democratic dynasties Americans love to criticize. And it also leads to incredibly cringy moments like this one from the G20, when Ivanka inserted herself into a high-level conversation with heads of state.
Once you start talking about the economic aspect of it, though, a lot of people start listening who wouldn't otherwise listen.
And the same with the defense side of it.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole sort of ecosystem, it's been very male-dominated. So.
Oh God, please stop. Did you just say very male-dominated? You're the spawn of patriarchy itself. That conversation just continued like... So,
fucking starters.
Pause the video. Before
Somebody
that,
kill her.
I
mean, I'm not calling for violence. I just meant kill her video.
Yeah, please, please specify the difference before we get arrested.
Okay. Who was the one that went to the Middle East and got the peace deals between Israel and all these other Middle Eastern nations? It was Ivanka and Kushner.
Let's see. There's Morocco. There's Egypt.
Sudan.
I forgot. Yeah, Sudan.
Yemen.
I do not know the whole list. You gotta keep up with this. I just know that the more important thing is that you can at least credit Trump for ending the Korean War.
Yeah, I mean, it's just totally ridiculous that they would say that that's a bad thing. Okay, we finally got peace in the Middle East, and you want to bitch about it? Okay, bitch, take your hoop earrings and get the fuck out my face.
Actually, the most annoying thing that I saw from Biden's cabinet on the whole thing was, what is his name? John Kerry, the one who lost to Bush in 2005, was it?
Oh, yeah, Lurch?
Yeah, the guy who can't make up a mind and has Botox in his face.
Ooh.
Basically, he wanted the U.S. out of Iraq because he realized that the war was a complete disaster in 2005. But now, with all the U.S. troops removing, he wants the U.S. troops back to bring the Middle East back to, quote-unquote, normal. I guess dead children are a common thing for the Democrats now, isn't it?
Well, I hate to tell everyone, the Middle East will never be normal. It'll cray-cray.
It will be normal one day. It had its own time period like that.
Well,
and then it all went to shit.
Back.
Yeah. Well, not only was that, Biden is one of the most warmongering presidents of all time. He wanted to fucking invade the Middle East many years before he was even cool.
97 is when he first issued the suggestion to invade Iran.
Yeah, but he's always supported it.
College.
I wasn't even born.
Oh God, you're that young? I forgot.
I'm in 99.
Oh God, I was in college in 97.
You're old, Bill Bear.
Yeah, but anyway, the fact that the supposed anti-war party, or the party that wants to channel it, or this fucking woman over here ranting about dictators, the guy who has caused so much fundamental human damage, is getting off the hook because he caters to just modern leftism. He says shit, doesn't act on it, and he could just go away and do whatever the hell he wants. Like this is a really big problem. Like I'm starting to connect the dots to, like, if you take Hitler.
Where you been?
What the hell was? What?
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 Oh God! I said you're just starting to connect the dots. Like you didn't do it like a year ago.
I was making an expression.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
All right. Oh, well, where the hell was I at? Oh yeah, starting to connect the dots. So like a lot of people are like saying, well, why didn't they do anything about Hitler? I mean, well, you're hardly doing anything about war crimes in China now. And as long as he just goes along with what's politically acceptable, I feel like anybody or just says the right thing, they can essentially get away with anything.
Yeah, that's
why. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just trying to say that's why I'm going to keep mentioning this fucking Times article whenever I get a chance to, because we must never forget it, that they gloated in our fucking faces that they were able to steal an election.
Shh! You can't say that.
Oh, I can actually say that.
I mean, in spite of things that are tyrannical, considering how they've been acting, the kind of mindset in America, and what Biden has, and now with a very huge lynch mob and corporate backing to support it, I think it's going to get a hell of a lot worse. Women
it
like
always
this
gets a
will
whole
not.
lot worse before it gets
I
better.
know, but expelling. I mean, really, shit's going to start hitting the fan. Start accelerating. If like women like this is supposed to end all of human suffering, then fuck me.
What was
Anyway.
it?
Okay, so let's continue.
Well, wasn't it the Biden administration suggested that we might be staying in partial lockdown for the next couple years?
Next 7 years.
Yeah.
And go back into the Middle East and, reinstitute hate crime stuff. And, I mean, it's just, it's absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's listen to this idiot talk more.
All your dad's presidents, or there are widespread reports of cabinet officials buying their positions in the former British colony, the United States. Ministers of the Trump regime, including the leader himself, have reportedly used their public positions as a means toward personal enrichment. When we think of government corruption, we might think about Nigeria or Mexico.
Can we make a quick comment real quick? I think Trump only made $8 as the actual president.
Yes, he's donated most of his cash elsewhere.
Yeah.
But legally speaking, he had to take at least $1. So.
Yeah. Like, quite frankly, the Democrats, if there was any link, like one fallacy I would use, if he was a dictator, like no one could not argue that like fucking Hitler, Stalin were dictators, because you just look at the long stuff of actual authoritarian things that they did.
Yeah,
he has to, dude, just dig so fucking deep, and then subjectively, from a hyperbole standard, call him a dictator. When,
in Germany during the war, there was the open court, where, long story short,
that one you lost.
Fuck off, demon. Anyways,
go ahead.
Anyways, there was this thing called the open court, where court cases were brought in, and it was a public court basically in Berlin and several other parts of Germany. Long story short, those wonderful courts had a 90% rate of the accused being charged either life imprisonment or execution. Just warning for what a real dictator looks like, and looks like you are all heading that way.
Usually never think about the legalized corruption in the United States, like billions in dark money funneling from corporations to politicians thanks to Citizens United. Still, our corruption as of late
true.
has
Maybe
been
check
taking
out
on-
where that money goes to.
That's actually true.
Yeah, that's true. Now check out where the fuck the money goes, because I'm telling you one thing, that money didn't go to Trump.
No, it didn't.
Well, yeah, most of the money goes to Democrat politicians. There's not much that goes to Republican politicians. Even the rhinos don't get nearly as make as nearly as much as they think as.
I'm pretty sure a lot goes to Romney and McConnell and all those scumbags.
But I'm just saying is that to make that comparison, because the Democrats have far more donors, corporate donors, than that of the Republicans do.
I agree. Continue.
Do y'all hear the whole thing that Biden still refuses to officially tell who were his public donors for the campaign?
Well, I know some of them were hedge fund managers.
That's obvious. What did American Dreamer write? Because we got 2 long comments over here. Trump was already rich. He doesn't need money, and he was once a Democrat. He voted for Obama the first time he ran, but the next time he didn't. He went in for the people and the deep states. Wants wars. Yeah, give or take. What was Roy's big comment? I love how that's quit jumping around. Anyways, we're now watching a video where the lady is trying to convince us that the US should invade itself because it supposedly has the same problems it claims other countries have, which is technically true, but also not really.
Are we going to talk about MSNBC calling for drone strikes on Americans?
We don't talk about that. And besides, I know that's something that can never happen in my country. And no, not because Germany is more free than the US, because that's a blatant fucking lie that my school keeps teaching me. No, it's because our government can't afford new bombs. So, and we also can't afford drones. So, the only reason why we're under full-on dictatorship is because the government's cheap.
Okay, that was funny, Z.
Yeah. Anyways, I love how Outlaw religiously dislikes the videos we watch on stream. Yeah, mind explaining that, Outlaw?
Buttoned up crookedness, like how the president has continued to break U.S. law and make money from his business empire, renting condos to world leaders and insisting on U.S. officials staying in his overpriced golf resorts while on business, like when Mike Pence was in Ireland. Although apparently that Trump hotel in Ireland isn't all that bad according to TripAdvisor. One reviewer says the Wi-Fi works sometimes, and if you're a quote keen masochist who doesn't care about costs, you should definitely stay there. And if you're working for Trump, man, you fit the bill. Trump donors have also been rewarded with powerful positions in his cabinet, like Louis DeJoy, who's donated $1.2 million to the Trump campaign since 2016 and is now Postmaster General. He and his wife have tens of millions of dollars worth of investments in companies that do business with the USPS, companies that are probably doing incredibly well right now, while your mail-in ballot is being slow-walked by a deputized possum to its final destination. A nest of
what time was this made?
That joke is actually pretty funny. That joke was fairly funny. It's a blatant lie what she's trying to say, but the joke is funny. Also, speaking of which, in news of my commissions, one of my commission tanks has gone missing. First, we thought it was at fault of DHL, but after a 4-week-long investigation, it turns out it's lost somewhere in the United States Postal Service system. They just didn't tell that the package arrived in the US.
That's odd, because usually the postal system is good at its job. It's just slow.
Wait, did you just say the Postal Service is good at its job?
It actually is, statistically speaking, and it does it pretty well. It's just very slow.
All I've ever heard from Americans was complaining about the U.S. Postal Service.
I've never had any complaints with the U.S. Postal System. It's always worked well for me personally and for my family.
Yeah, but also that's not how whole things work. What's the whole thing?
I'm not saying
where
it's perfect.
Evidence through experience is not a.
But anyways, regardless of my personal experience, as I said, statistically speaking, the U.S. Postal Service system does very well, and it's actually very well liked. It's one of the most highly rated parts of the U.S. government. I think it has like an 80% approval rating.
Yeah, but who is the crowd? Dead people? Because the U.S. Postal Service also did receive a lot of mail-in ballots coming from people who don't exist or whose bones are now literal
Anyways,
dust.
I never understood about disliking the U.S. Postal Service because it actually does its job pretty well. It's just very slow. That's it. That's the main complaint you could probably
I think it's because no matter how many good cases you get, the bad cases will always tell a bigger story or whatever.
I'm not denying there aren't bad cases.
Because how many times have we seen pictures of U.S. Postal Services where they just do something stupid and leave something out? Like, did everyone forget that in 2019 some poor guy was locked in his own apartment for like an entire day because the U.S. Postal Service decided to put his new poster that he ordered right underneath the door handle? So he was literally trapped in his own apartment.
Sounds like China.
Yeah. Yeah, so the package did arrive, but you were trapped in the whole time in your damn apartment because of it.
But anyways,
that's fun. I mean, it's horrifying, but it's funny.
But anyway, statistically speaking, the U.S. Postal Service is one of the most highly rated ones and everything. So I've never understood the internet's disdain for it, because I think it's over-exaggerated of how much they think it is bad, when in reality it's a lot better than what they believe it to be.
I don't know, Rational. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that, because I get They always like send me mail from my neighbors around the block. Like they never get the mailing address right. So
it might be worse in some areas.
And even on my end for DHL, it's very well liked over here in Germany. Even I like it. However, sometimes they don't actually tell us when our mail is coming. Sometimes they tell us when it comes, but it never does. Sometimes they just don't tell anything. And if it's not the guy that my mother knows who's delivering our mail, because he is a nice guy, there is some other guy that we've never seen who basically throws the package at the door.
Anyways,
I mean, it's mail services in general. I mean, there's going to be flaws, of course, but the government fucks everything up. Oh, crap. Am I not supposed to cuss?
No, we've been cussing throughout all the streams, really.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck did he just say?
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was just fucking making a joke.
Anyways, let's get on with the video.
For just a moment, we got a comment from Roy over here. I'll make an analogy. If your internet is only 0.1% of the down, 0.1% of the time, it means it's down for about a minute and a half every day. You're going to feel it and get mad.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's continue.
Brings to mind the government of Vladimir Putin, where according to one
Jesus
more than
fucking
half
Christ.
of the $50 billion spent on the 2014 Sochi Olympics simply disappeared into the pockets of Putin's cronies. But Trump loves Russia, so what about, according to him,
I don't think Trump loves
Trump's
Russia. He just knows
administration
that
shares
it's
a
a
lot in
stupid thing to
common
go
with
to
former
war with.
Prove it, bitch.
dictator
You know what?
Mobutu of the Congo.
I admit, Russia, in my opinion, is a pretty corrupt government that I don't want to live in. However, you know what country that they did militantly defend a couple of years ago? Venezuela, who is essentially everything that Russia is and was on steroids, and minus the ability to feed its people. So, no, I just swear to God, you just switch the letters out, have one side suck the other's one's dick, or be semi-politically aligned, and those motherfuckers can commit any atrocities. Like Jesus Christ. Bernie Sanders praised the hell out of fucking Castro. Put fucking gay people in internment camps. So, tribalism, God, it's very strong and relevant. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just hate that these people are just, I'm assuming that she has a semi-corporate format. And there's just a lot of politicians, major political figures, comedians, that are of this persuasion, are incapable of seeing their own bias, unable of doing anything because, well, God forbid, as long as I just don't sound like a Republican, I'm doing actual good. Just so fucking bad.
Mobutu embezzled $5 billion from his own country as he plunged it into cycles of extreme debt, poverty, and violence. And yet, threw his daughter a wedding with a $65,000 cake. And if that's anything like spending $70,000...
I got a good example. How about Haiti? Is that how you pronounce that country's name? And the Clintons.
Haiti.
Haiti and the Clintons. What happened with them again? All right, Hillary helped the whole thing to plunge an entire country into disaster, and part of that money went to Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
$1,000 on your hair? It was disgusting.
That's a false
leader
number.
Donald Trump once again stoked violence between ethnic factions in the United States, appealing to Americans of European descent. The president has also failed to condemn violence against descendants of the American slave trade and directed chants of send them back at congresspeople of non-Western heritage.
Okay, how much fucking proof that she actually has of this? And B, he did condone white supremacy in the same speech.
Yeah,
he's acknowledging that Antifa was there and causing the same amount of problems too.
Yeah, let's just go quickly to the video's description and just see what there is. If there is at least like one link. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious. Nope.
Yeah. Well, just another thing is, one of the major reasons why I'm not politically correct is unless if I have a good, really good reason to accuse people of being the same thing, let's say slave traders and Nazis, I better have a good argument, a good reason, because I'm not going to go piss on their grave, use their deaths just to politically bully somebody with a center-right opinion, or just anybody else. I think that's more disrespectful than...
Go on.
Either way, I think that's far more disrespectful than anything I could fucking do or say. And
well,
B,
you gotta remember
the thing that just pisses me off the most about it is all these people are such terrible Nazis and everything, but the victims of like the slave trade and the Jews, they have farther right opinions than I do. I think there needs to be a far more nuanced opinion before we just start throwing the label out there.
Well, it's kind of too late for not throwing the label around. Unfortunately, yeah. I believe we live in a time where we have to follow their tactics to defeat them at their own game. So let's just face it, this is a brown Nazi we're looking at right now. Which statistically is more true if she does come from the country of Qatar.
Well, it's just like one thing I don't understand is like two things that the Nazis heavily supported was fucking violence and censorship. Something that I just see rapidly.
Yes, gun control. Also, the abolishment of police forces. Because Nazi Germany did that, and also in Austria. Yeah, boy.
Synagogue needs an enemy, and ethno-nationalism, or equating a race and religion with citizenship, is a perfect way to do it. Trump stoking anti-Muslim, anti-Semitic, and anti-immigrant violence echoes India's Narendra Modi, who systematically stoked violence against the country's Muslim minority, which sounds upsettingly familiar to the hat tip Trump continues to
I would like proof of this, but thank you.
Are you willing tonight to...
Has anyone ever considered, like, invading India?
Nah, they're already invading themselves.
Well, my point is, like, it seems irrelevant. Like, I don't recall most people complaining about the Indian government.
I don't know.
Actually, I keep hearing it from white liberals who just don't understand the situation. Because, yes, what Modi is doing is targeted thing, but also you gotta understand. Because in northern India, where there's the large Muslim population, they are Indians first. But now in like southern India, where I used to live, there's a lot of those who, let's say, are a bit questionable. They don't really look Indian. They look like they come from Iraq. They all wear black hijabs. They all wear traditionalist Islamic clothing. And also in the wonderful state that I used to live in Goa, there was a wonderful protest held by these people where they argued that the government cannot control Islam, but Islam should control the government. And it turns out most of these people don't even come from India. They come from other Middle Eastern countries. So it's a bit of a falsehood what she's saying on what's going on in India. But don't get me wrong, Modi wants to be a dictator if any chance he gets it.
Yeah. So what do you think about, real quick, what do you think about China owning about 25% of India's water supplies?
India did some bad business, and it's not going to go well for the Chinese because that water doesn't even... the water isn't even good, trust me.
Well, a lot of people are thinking, I've been talking to a friend, and he's thinking if World War III breaks out, it's going to break it out in India because China's going to suck up so much of their water, which is going to trigger a very knee-jerk reaction, which might drag the rest of the world.
Yeah, actually, the reason why there was a conflict over the thing with China stealing Indian water is because it turns out China isn't taking water which they legally own in India. They're stealing water that they don't legally own.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's keeping up with the news, there's been water disputes the past few years.
I know. I do keep up with news because I did want to go to the east side of India at one point because there is a tank market over there. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too close to the border for my taste.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if any kind of war ends up being between India and China.
But you also got to remember, India is a very nationalist country to the fun degree. And what I mean by fun degree, I forgot what was his name from the Indian government, but he gave out an official statement, which reportedly scared the heads of the CCP a bit, where basically the Indian government gave out an official statement that we know that a land war is not going to work with China, so we're gonna go with nukes instantly, and basically gave a message that we Indians are willing to die for our beliefs. so yeah, it was something where the guy was paraphrasing what's his name, Montgomery, the British general, when he gave a statement that if we can't live free in Britain, then we'll die fighting for Britain, when it was believed that the Germans were going to invade. So same logic.
Foreign policy, India has bigger balls than us.
Yes.
Even under Trump.
Which Trump, he can say, good relations with the Indians I have.
Yeah, but I know that a lot of people say that Trump has failed with multiple issues on China, which I do partially agree. But you also got to realize a lot of U.S. manufacturing is completely outsourced in China, whereas a lot of manufacturing for India is done within India.
Well, compared to other presidents, he's done more than the rest of them.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. He's done a lot more, but a lot of people have argued that he hasn't done enough. But the whole issue is you can't just cut out China when they own so much of your industry. You got to slowly remove it. Because
has any president done enough? Really?
In fairness, I don't think a whole lot of presidents really wanted to do enough.
Mm-hmm.
But
premises.
What I was saying, I think the greatest thing that Trump has accomplished is that he's got the ball rolling. At least China has taken huge damage in their tariffs and trades, so that's good.
I will still hold
China
the ground.
is asshole. Sorry, go ahead, Z.
I will still hold my ground that the funniest fact that I know that Trump was able to achieve is now the United States is the biggest producer and seller of rice to China. You are making money to the Chinese by selling them rice. I don't like to do business with the Chinese, but if you can make money for your own country by selling rice to the Chinese, do it.
That is a hate fact, Z.
Shut up.
You're a
What do you want to
racist.
call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
Proud supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by.
How is he physically unable to lie about this one thing? It's like Trump is living the exact premise of Liar Liar, except only when it comes to his tacit support of Nazis. I condemn the proud.
Well, in fairness, fucking Biden and all them were yelling and shouting a bunch of different shit. And fucking B, this motherfucker didn't condone Antifa. If anything, he gave a basic bitch bullshit excuse. They were just anti-fascist. Well, Jesus Christ, thank you, Uncle Joe. You needed to annex half of Europe because you were anti-fascist. Fuck me. It's not only with that. He literally, if we were being objectively and completely fairly honest, and if we looked at everything that Antifa did, they're a hell of a lot worse than the Proud Boys.
Yes.
And it's like for an ethno-identitarian movement, their fucking group is fucking owned by what? What was some guy who was half Hispanic?
Yeah, that's what
they
I was
haven't
about to
really
say.
done, and it's
Isn't it owned by like a half Mexican?
yeah, and they haven't really even done and achieved anything on the violent spectrum that fucking Antifa has. It's like, fuck me. That shows you a lot where the country's going. Where it is now. Fuck where it's going.
I hate white soup. It's clam chowder. It's bad. Donald J. Trump hereby renounces the support of former KKK leader David Duchovny.
What?
Beyond stoking violence, there's actual state violence against ethnic minorities.
I don't even
like
get what
in
you're
China,
saying.
where officials have denied the existence of massive camps for the Uyghur population, with some pretty pathetic responses.
This is almost certainly over Xinjiang. Can you tell us what
Real
is
quick.
happening here?
This is not the first
Do we know
time
how
you
many
shall-
videos that she's actually done on China? Because I think that she's only literally mentioning China just to make a political point here about Trump. I don't think that she's actively really doing anything about China.
Anyways, I gotta give credit to Andrew Marr, was it? Yes, Andrew Marr in this situation, because he basically lied to the Chinese ambassador in the UK as to why it was being brought on, and then just showed the video of the Uyghurs being rounded up on the trains.
I still remember last year you showed me what is happening in Xinjiang.
In Xinjiang, exactly.
But let me tell you this. Xinjiang, have you been to Xinjiang yourself?
No, I never have.
You know, Xinjiang is regarded as the most beautiful place in Xinjiang. There's a Chinese saying,
Xinjiang is the most beautiful place in Xinjiang.
Ambassador, that is not beautiful coverage, however, is it?
But have you seen Mulan?
Once again,
that was also
once
shot in
again,
Xinjiang.
the German
Did you know they
is
had
racist.
to CG a lake
Wait,
over
what?
a shot of a massive prison?
Oh, nothing.
Damn it.
I didn't say
and while
nothing.
ICE detention
I didn't
centers
hear
are a
you.
far cry from those Uyghur camps, that's not
Outlaw
for
is
lack
just
of
playing the
trying.
video. I literally
According
didn't
to Human
understand
Rights
what you
Watch,
said.
Trump's immigration policies have violated international
called
laws
you
on
a
asylum,
racist.
and that the rising number of deaths in detention facilities have been due to a lack of proper medical care. On top of that, we now know, thanks to a whistleblower, that women in ICE custody have been subjected to non-consensual hysterectomies, which sounds a lot like the
What,
forced
China?
sterilization the Chinese government subjects the Uyghurs to. Or in the words of the FLOTUS, give me a fucking break. Whether or not it should have, the U.S. has led so-called humanitarian intervention into countries over the mistreatment of ethnic minorities, like the U.S.-led war on Serbia over its brutal treatment of ethnic Albanians. With the U.S. doing the same now, who's going to lead humanitarian intervention here? And can it be Denmark? Please.
Who
I
gives a
just
fuck?
really want to be occupied by a country with universal health care and Legoland. Take
What the fuck do
reins,
you want to-
Danes. The American
You don't
ruler
think
I
she's
hate
done
this bitch.
completely
I don't
through the
know.
entirety
I can't
of
take
this?
anymore. Dude,
She's
next
completely
video.
justified.
Fuck this bitch.
She's been completely justifying military occupation and invasions. A pretty dictator fucking thing to do, right? She
Yeah.
keeps arguing for authority, and that's pretty much the same thing that she's been trying to argue against. Oh, you're all for against this, you're all for against that until you want the fucking country to invade you.
To crack down on political dissidents protesting the treatment of ethnic minorities. We're not used to thinking about American law enforcement in terms of paramilitary forces or secret police units, but how else do you describe BORTAC, a DHS Border Patrol tactical unit that is allowed to operate within 100 miles of any U.S. border, creating what the ACLU has called a constitution-free zone. BORTAC has been seen targeting Black Lives Matter activists in places like Portland, sweeping them into
Oh, you
unmarked
mean the
vans,
commies?
which must have made for super
The
awkward
place that literally
conversation.
fucking took over a police think.
And tried firebombing a federal courthouse.
Also,
Yeah.
there's technically nothing illegal of unmarked vans, and also if they're arresting people who actually committed a crime, how is that bad? In the sense that they were actually destroying property.
I mean, I like how they're so focused on these unmarked vans, but like literally everything that they did, fuck all, it's not important.
At the Enterprise car rental. Well, looks like you boys are gonna have some fun tonight, violating civil rights. All right. It's all reminiscent of the systematic
actually legally
persecution
violated?
of political dissidents during the dirty wars of the military junta in Argentina or Pinochet's Chile. Many autocrats and strongmen have had secret police that target activists specifically. Hitler had the Gestapo, Mussolini had the Squadrismo, and Ellen DeGeneres has the Porsche di Rossi.
And Biden has the mask police.
Well, she didn't even mention anything about any communist dictatorship. Really, things that are known for having secret police of right-wing persuasion. I mean, way to go just to forget about a few 100 million people.
Trump is more like Haiti's former despots Papa Doc and Baby Doc Duvalier, both of whom the U.S. propped up for years, and who had a private militia called the Tonton Macoute, a violent gang named after the myth of a boogeyman who punishes bad children. Meanwhile, Trump is the Proud
fairness,
Boys, a violent
many
gang named after the myth that anyone's ever been proud of them.
Does anybody
The Trump
actually
regime
have statistically
continues
had the number of
purging
people that they've
opposition
actually
figures
murdered?
from within
Outlaw,
its
could you
own
stop the video for a minute? Come on. Anyways, what were you saying, Putza?
Well, does anybody actually have a statistical kill count or data of the actual damage they have done?
Who?
No. The Proud Boys he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. If not, then she's just been lying out of her ass.
She's already been lying out of her ass for the most part.
I know.
She works for the Qatar government, so.
That also.
Well, all that she's been justifying is what? Invasions, be lying out of her ass, and see center-right people are fucking Nazis. God damn it. I'm good. Let's just continue.
Cabinet. There's no such thing as constructive criticism when you don't believe in democracy. There are only loyalists and people who used to be loyalists but didn't want to go down
that's
with the
really
ship, so they
fucking
Billy
ironic.
Zane their way.
I mean, it's really fucking ironic hearing that come from her.
What was that whole thing? I keep forgetting what the type of person is called, where they can only view live through whatchamacallit, pop culture references. There's a word for that. Forgot what it was.
Into a book deal. That's why political purges are a telltale sign your country is anti-democratic. Like in 2017, when Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia arrested ministers, princes, and billionaires in order to consolidate power. Some were even members of his own family, which must have made for a super awkward family barbecue. Okay, who wants to play pin the crime on the uncle? And in the US, the countless resignations, assignments, and firings have made it clear Trump's goal is to consolidate power, especially when he's fired the very watchdogs who are supposed to make sure we don't become a country that consolidates.
He's done a real shit job of doing that. Like he's had a lot of opportunities to at least lock down a lot of the nation between the riots and coronavirus. And that transition that he allowed Biden to get into power. Fuck me.
Power.
4 inspector generals have been removed by Trump just in a little over a month.
Cool. Trump has utilized the Justice Department and loyalist William Barr to pardon his allies and former associates under criminal indictment. Autocrats guarantee absolute loyalty by controlling the justice system, and William Barr has been a willing attack dog. Currently, he's trying to undermine the election to help Trump win, according to 1,600 former DOJ staffers. Barr has also gone after anyone who has dared try and...
Fun fact, because there's no media coverage on this, over 2/3 of Trump's lawsuits, which were kicked out because of improper filing or whatever other excuse they could come up with in court that doesn't require looking at evidence, Trump has won.
Yeah, well, the only thing I've got to say is China is asshole.
Yeah. Okay, that one is not really relevant to what I just mentioned.
No,
Damn it, Russia, you let us down.
Random.
No, but seriously, over close to 2/3 of all the lawsuits that Trump has filed on the election fraud have been found to be true or have won the court cases. But of course, doesn't matter if all cases won. It just means that, Trump can't be president anymore at this point. It's always conveniently after the point of no return.
Hold the president or his cronies accountable, pardoning his stooges like real-life Batman villain Roger Stone. The Trump administration is acting exactly like the Maduro government in Venezuela.
Roger Stone? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, okay, whatever.
Who is Roger Stone? Just one sentence description.
He's just an old dude.
Political activist. Yeah, how Trump got into power.
Okay.
I mean, he's kind of crazy. He's a crazy old man. But he hasn't hurt anybody.
I'd like to point out Trump didn't pardon himself or any of his family members. So.
Well, to be fair, he didn't pardon himself because they've also talked about that could actually bring up legal problems trying to pardon himself.
Yeah, but you could also pardon his family, but he also didn't do that.
I don't think his family did anything that could even be said to be illegal.
Not yet, at least. Don't you remember?
Everybody was just. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, doesn't anyone remember the time where people were actively calling to target Baron Trump?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a pardon is more of a preemptive strike than anything else.
The regime his administration spent much of last year trying to topple. There, the Supreme Court, which is packed with Maduro loyalists, voted to dissolve opposition parties. Here, Trump is hoping to pack his Supreme Court in time to rule in favor on what he hopes will be an...
Filling a court position is not court packing.
Yeah, and besides, it was literally a position that was opened because someone died who was in terrible health. It wasn't like that they were taken out back and shot 16 times.
And Biden's team was talking about actually packing the court.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
and
is
the
something he still
Democrats...
hasn't ever mentioned.
Yeah, and the Democrats are currently packing the Georgia Supreme Court, conveniently enough.
Oh, come on, Z. You didn't accidentally shoot yourself in the back of the head 3 times? I mean, come on, it happens all the time.
Come on, man.
Actually, statistically, it is possible. There are certain guns with a high enough fire rate that you can shoot yourself multiple times in the head before you drop dead.
I mean, okay, if you say so.
Another too close to call. Better stop counting these ballots and put it to the court's election. The only reason the Trump administration should want to topple Maduro is out of jealousy. The leader of the formerly free world has refused to commit to a peaceful
fuck?
Good God.
I mean, I think it would be more of the fact that he's a severely anti-socialist. America will never be a socialist country.
Could also be the fact that it could also be the fact that Venezuela is one of the skinniest countries on the planet, and not in a good way.
I mean, it's not only
Venezuela is a shithole, bro.
I know. I met with a Venezuelan who left Venezuela for that reason.
If he loses his seat
But certainly
in
with
November,
that comment doesn't make any sense because you don't see China invading North Korea because they're jealous of how well their dictatorship is. You see fucking Kim Jong-un. He's about to be shot. And then like fucking Xi Jinping he's a bigger piece of shit than me, and I can't have that.
this comes after months of claiming without evidence that mail-in ballots, which are used all over the world, are fraudulent. My God, this is where we are.
They are not.
Look, it's no secret our democracy wasn't functioning great to begin
For
with.
starters, all right, so here's a little bit of a history election. You know where the biggest fraudulent elections that ever took place were at? They were in Africa.
Okay.
And,
I was going to say that. I just didn't want to.
Oh. Well, yeah, what's that? Like many of these elections, they have them in favor of the Europeans, like 99%. And then the UN made them have re-elections. And it was the opposite, where the Europeans would only get 1% of the vote. It's not like this is uncommon nor impossible. Mm-hmm. And I know that, again, if we were looking honestly, and we're looking through the lens of history, she wouldn't mention this, but no.
Of course not. Also, don't forget, I forgot what was the country that was formed after a civil war, but it currently holds the world record for the most fraudulent election in history because the country had only 37,000 citizens. It's a small country. And also after a civil war, so it makes sense. Guess how many votes did the new president get? The one who, weirdly enough, dressed like a pimp when he won.
Double that.
Over 200,000 votes for him. You may notice the math doesn't add up. At all. That's why it's known as the most fraudulent, because it was very obvious. But he was still the country's first president.
You know, in one place that they keep constantly saying that the elections are fraudulent? Russia.
I was going to say Belarus, but that too.
Yeah. Oh, I remember reading the CNN. It was the last time that Putin got reelected, okay? And they were saying for a likely fraudulent election, the majority of the population doesn't support him, their rights and everything. And it's likely a fraudulent election. Well, son of a bitch. Anyway, I'm done ranting.
But this feels new.
Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful
All right,
transfer
guys.
of
I gotta go.
Get rid of the ballot.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you later, Demon.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation.
Get rid of the ballots and you'll have a continuation? This is where we are, people. The shining city on a hill has completely slid off that hill. We're now in North Korea territory, or even just on the level of Chinese.
Not even close to North Korea, come on. And not even close to the Chinese.
Jinping, who used parliament to extend his term limit indefinitely. And I guess Trump got a little jealous.
Don't forget, John is great, and she is a great gentleman. He's now president-elect. I want to give that a shot someday.
That's called a joke.
Wow, Trump is killing both the crowd and democracy. He's like an authoritarian Andrew Dice Clay. Hickory dickory dock.
What the fucking hell, mother? He criticized the government in the same speech.
And that was clearly also a joke.
I mean, she's doing the victims a really good fucking service, isn't she? Fuck.
Neko, you barely say anything.
Yeah, you have barely said anything, Neko.
I don't know what else to add.
Yeah,
earlier.
me and Z have been killing it.
Anyways, I think we've watched enough of this video.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, Demon hasn't also said a hell of a
Neko,
lot.
Yeah, but Neko, at least if you want to send your therapy bills to someone, I can give you Outlaw's address.
Oh,
okay.
Anyways, I think that will be it for this stream. Any other final thoughts before we end the stream?
Just that video was insane.
It's kind of funny how accurate the video is if you just change the president.
Yeah, that it is. All right, so for those
I mean, with her, I don't know if it's the money talking, her job, or I don't know if she actually believes it.
Well, considering of how we've seen other people from Al Jazeera and so on behave, it's probably both.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
Qatar
it's like
pays
this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Qatar pays a fair amount, and they don't really want people who might oppose them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like that with many people who act or speak idiotic. Like, let's say Joseph Goebbels. They are very intelligent men. And having such a look at their own belief, and this just goes for most insane people in general, at some point they must know that a lot of the shit that they're saying is bullshit. And that's why they can sell it so well.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be some awareness.
Yeah.
I have to disagree with both of y'all, because in the modern world I see a very, very strong lack of awareness.
I don't think so. I think there is
the
blatant
only awareness that I can see is where they have to start to lie for the party, if that makes sense. Especially right now, if you've ever visited the Twitter account of Biden voters posting their L's, you'll see how many of them are very annoyed at how much effort they have to put in to keep supporting the Democrats.
Yeah. There was this really funny joke. It was a political compass meme, and it shows AOC and like the live left spectrum. It says this is her normally, and it says when people start to criticize her and something that she factually didn't do, and then it shows her that had the same political compass as the Nazis. Yeah, just call the Gestapo in. Anyway, did we talk about that? That she was caught lying about her not actually being at the Capitol?
No, we did not talk about that, but we did mention it at the start.
Yeah, basically she was in an office like on the other side of the road?
No, what people noticed is when she started to talk about mentioning of her office, and people were like, okay, where exactly is your office? And then people started to put the dots together that your office isn't in that building, is it?
Yeah. Well, there's this really funny image. It's that one of her crying at the borders, but they replaced it and put it at the TV of the news event going on.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all from me.
Well, I think that we'll end the video here. So, for those who are still watching and watching this perhaps in the future, if you could please go ahead and donate to Demon's PayPal. As he said, it's for his girlfriend, and all the money will go to his girlfriend having her tooth removal. If you feel like you can afford to donate, go ahead. It's up to you. And of course, if you really like my content here, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi. Also, don't forget to follow me on Medium. I post articles on there periodically. I'm really trying to build up the audience there. Still, it's very tiny right now. And also follow me on Odyssey. Odyssey is currently one of my fastest growing social medias right now. And it's also having quite a few views for me compared to YouTube, which I barely get any for the amount of channel size I have. Quite frankly, I should probably be getting more than for what I'm getting in the sense of how many subscribers. But for whatever reason, Odyssey has been growing in quite a few views for me. So go ahead and follow me there, share my content and everything. And as I said, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi. And also, don't forget to follow Neko Boy on his social media. He does his geek culture content.
Yeah.
You can also follow Putza. He has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to try to put it later on, the link to his channel.
Yeah, I sent the link in your Discord.
Oh, you did?
Message. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'll see about putting that in. And of course, consider also getting a commission from Z Commander. He does his different models that he makes, cars, tanks, you name it. Go ahead and consider getting a commission from him. He really needs it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it? That's your only comment there?
Yes.
Anyways, thank you for watching. You've been watching RNN, and I'm your host, Rashnaa, and we'll see y'all